Hey guys, happy Tuesday, 4 days away from Thanksgiving break, right? We're very excited. Just a reminder that you have a test this Thursday and Friday on photosynthesis and cellular respiration. What we are looking at is just the back of your do now. Yesterday we talked about aerobic cellular respiration. Today we are going to be talking about anaerobic cellular respiration, which we call fermentation just as another word. So anaerobic cellular respiration and fermentation are the exact same thing. To recap from yesterday, this was our little map of cellular respiration. We talked about this left side, so we talked about aerobic cellular respiration. Today we are talking about anaerobic cellular respiration, so this side. Okay. The reason that I had you do the do now was just to give you exposure about fermentation, the key points. What I'm going to do is take that information that you figured out yourself and just connect some ideas for you. To start us off, I want you to read number 1. Read it and then write down a thought. So pause the video, read it, write down. What do you think? All right, welcome back. So our first idea that we're going to go over is that when cells are without oxygen for a short period of time, an anaerobic, so ana, like nah, I don't need oxygen, process called fermentation follows glycolysis so that the cell continue producing ATP until oxygen is available again. All right. Based on this definition and based on what you figured out here in the do now, I want you to come up with what is the function of fermentation? Why do we have it? So pause the video, tell me what you think. All right, I want to take us back to this example here with this sprinter running a race. So as you know, whenever you're running or exercising, like your breathing becomes slower. That means that you're not getting enough oxygen. However, this sprinter would still need it still needs energy to finish that race, right? So if you're not getting oxygen, the process of cellular respiration switches from aerobic to anaerobic, and the function is basically the same. It's to produce ATP without the presence of oxygen. That's really it. If you had something along these lines, that's fine. You can just keep that. You don't have to write what I'm writing verbatim. All right, there are 2 major types of fermentation. You discovered this from number 4 on your do now. And that is lactic acid fermentation and alcoholic fermentation. All right, so both of these actually occur in humans, and then I'm going to show you why. Okay, so lactic acid fermentation is an anaerobic process. Anytime you see anaerobic, you should write without oxygen, or you could write fermentation. It's up to you. It uses a pyruvate, which is just half of glucose, to make, and we're just saying to make is just the products of lactic acid fermentation. I'm taking this from number 5 from your do now. So that's 2 ATP, CO2, and of course lactic acid. So this is really important when you're exercising. So if you do like a really intense workout, you can notice that whatever you worked out was really sore. It's sore because of the buildup of lactic acid. So the importance of this is that it provides your muscles with energy, or ATP, while exercising. This happens in animals and it happens in plants. But yeah, when you're sore, it's literally just because there's so much lactic acid that's built up from your body going through anaerobic cellular respiration. The reason that you stretch after you work out is basically to disperse that lactic acid so that you're not as sore. So definitely stretch after workout. The other type of fermentation is alcoholic fermentation. These products I'm taking strictly from number 6. It produces 2 ATP, CO2, and of course alcohol, which I know none of you know anything about. The importance is to make alcohol, and then the organisms that usually do this would be yeast. So when you ferment yeast, you actually make alcohol, or when you ferment yeast, you can, that's the key ingredient for bread. So when you ferment yeast, you're actually releasing some oxygen that allow the bread to rise. As you notice, though, I want you to look at these products of ATP. There's 2 ATP from lactic acid fermentation and alcoholic fermentation, as opposed to yesterday you guys learned that aerobic cellular respiration actually produces a total of 36 molecules of ATP. So having oxygen is definitely ideal for humans and most animals. But when we don't have any oxygen, we turn to fermentation. What I want you to do now is practice annotating these 6 questions. You should be annotating at least 3 words. I'm going to give you the 3 words that you should annotate in this question, and then keep it moving. Once you've done with that, go onto the Google Forms and complete your exit ticket. And if you finish all of that, go on to Quizlet so you can start studying for your test tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Thursday and Friday. All right, get started. Have fun.